potato.
Good afternoon, I'm Jacqueline Felgate. It's 4 o'clock and these are our top stories. Shock claims as Craig McLachlin fights indecent assault charges. Plus, masks put to the test as Melburnians soak up the long weekend sun. No new COVID cases, but growing fears of outbreaks in hospitals. A court rules the lockdown curfew was legal. And how the city is celebrating the Cup without heading to the track.
Live from Melbourne, this is 7's Afternoon News with Jacqueline Felgate.
Good afternoon. Leading Melbourne doctors are warning there will be new outbreaks in Melbourne unless hospitals urgently address concerns around personal protective equipment. State political reporter Chanel Valla explains.
Well, it's our third day of 0 new cases and 0 deaths. There's also good news around our active cases. Today, they're sitting at 49. 8 weeks ago, they were around 1,700. Our rolling average in Metro Melbourne sits at 1.9 and remains at 0 for regional Victoria. There are only 2 Victorians in hospital and none in ICU. 2 healthcare workers currently have COVID-19. But as our cases remain low, doctors say now is the time to prepare our hospitals and medical centres to ensure we are ready for a major outbreak.
This is a window of opportunity. We have no real idea how long this is going to last for. It might be short, it might be, medium term or long term, but we should absolutely be using this opportunity to put the shoulder to the wheel and get our hospitals pandemic fit.
Infectious diseases physician Michelle Anandaraja says young healthcare workers are the most at risk, given they're the ones who come in contact with infected patients. She says fit testing of masks still isn't happening in some of our major hospitals.
Some hospitals have embraced it enthusiastically and started. Other hospitals are about to begin, and yet there are still some really large health networks in Melbourne that haven't even started and haven't actually communicated to their frontline staff as to when they can expect fit testing to start.
The government says they are reviewing our restrictions ahead of Sunday's announcement. It's still likely we will have the 25-kilometre limit scrapped and the ring of steel will be removed.
Melbourne is about to face one of its biggest tests since emerging from lockdown as people gather for the Cup Day public holiday tomorrow. It comes as the state recorded no new cases for the 3rd day in a row. Live now to Laurel Irving in St Kilda. Hello, Laurel. We're being warned not to slip back into old habits.
Well, Jackie, in perfect conditions like these, experts are a little worried that some of us might let our guard down, and we can see there are thousands of Melburnians out today enjoying this spectacular weather and also our newfound taste of freedom. But most people are doing the right thing. There's social distancing, most people are wearing masks, there are police out and about making sure people are doing the right thing, and the people I've spoken to are pretty comfortable, given we've had 3 days in a row, as you said, of no new cases, that they are safe. Let's take a listen.
Yeah, look, I think being locked up for like 6 months, it's kind of this breath of fresh air and everyone's just like, oh!
It's good to feel free and normal again.
Everyone's very, very, I think, cautious at the moment about doing the right thing. We're all wearing masks and we have to.
Tomorrow, of course, it's going to be warmer, and that's the official public holiday, so there will be probably even more people out. Experts say, though, that if there is some virus that's undetected at the moment out in the community, that could be a real trigger point if people don't keep wearing their masks and keep socially distancing.
If there's virus floating around, then this is the perfect opportunity for it to spread. So we just need to behave, just for a little bit longer.
And just on masks, Jackie, we know we have to still wear them outside. The government says probably until the end of the year. Well, all of the experts I've spoken to say it's much likely to be only a few more weeks and we'll be able to scale them back if the cases stay low.
Yeah, enjoy the sunshine safely, Laurel. Thank you. Logie-winning actor Craig McLachlin is giving evidence for the first time as he fights charges of indecently assaulting 4 female colleagues. He's told the court one of his accusers made remarks about his body while another entered his dressing room in her underwear. Jade Vincent reports.
Actor Craig McLachlin hasn't held back as he fights charges of indecently assaulting 4 of his female co-stars, going as far as to label one of his accusers as the most vulgar individual he's ever encountered. The allegations stem from his run as Frankenfurter in the Rocky Horror Picture Show in 2014. Giving evidence remotely from Sydney, Craig McLachlin says he was flabbergasted when the accusations were made public, denying he indecently touched or assaulted any of the women. Fans of the TV star uploaded a video of McLachlin's song It's All Right with messages of support as he faced court today.
Everything's all right. It's all right. Everything's all right.
The 55-year-old admitted to kissing some of his accusers but told the court that in show business it was commonplace. It's just what we do. He said he would kiss a female colleague to congratulate her after a performance. The Logie winner claimed one of the women who had made allegations against him would regularly enter his dressing room uninvited, wearing only underwear, and sit on his lap to tell stories and jokes. He spoke of being a confidant to the women, and as the leading man, he liked to take an interest in all of the cast and crew. He denied any kissing or playful interactions had any sexual connotations, while also claiming he was subjected to sexual pranks backstage. Craig McLachlin is facing a total of 13 charges. The contested hearing is expected to run all week, with further defence witnesses to be called.
The New South Wales Premier has dropped more hints about when the border to Victoria will open. Health officials are keeping a close eye on what happens when restrictions ease next weekend and could open the border weeks after
November,
that.
He'll be opening up Victoria to all residents, to Melburnians. So, that's a date that we're considering in terms of where the clock starts for New South Wales. We're talking weeks, not months, in terms of when the Victorian border may come down.
New South Wales recorded 1 new local case of COVID and 6 from return travellers. The challenge against Melbourne's lockdown curfew has been dismissed. As Cameron Bowe explains, a cafe owner claimed it violated her human rights, but a Supreme Court judge disagreed.
The Supreme Court has affirmed that Melbourne's COVID curfew was legitimate. Rosebud Cafe owner and Liberal Party member Michelle Luello had challenged it. She'd claimed that the curfew was unlawful and had violated her human rights. But the court found that the curfew was proportionate to the purpose of protecting human health. The case has also revealed some of the aspects of the decision-making process regarding the curfew. The one person who had the responsibility of deciding to extend the curfew on September the 13th, Deputy Public Health Commander Michelle Giles, had only been in the job for 2 days, and that Daniel Andrews announced the extension to the curfew before she had signed off on it.
So this is a piece of litigation that was very important for Victorians. Michelle Loyello deserves the thanks of, I think, every Melburnian who feels trampled on, who feels that they haven't been listened to.
The day before the case was to go to court, it was announced that the curfew would be withdrawn. On that day, we had 41 new COVID cases and 7 deaths. As well as losing the judgment, Michelle Luello has also been ordered to pay costs.
The roses are in bloom and the champagne is on ice, but this year's Melbourne Cup Day will be unlike any in the event's history. Nick McCallum has visited businesses putting the finishing touches on COVID-safe celebrations.
It's that new word we've all become used to now, pivot. Venues and their patrons all around Melbourne tomorrow will pivot into a new way of enjoying the Melbourne Cup. The course and its famous roses look elegant but eerily empty. So you will see this track in all its glory this year.
Yes!
But venues emerging from lockdown will try to recreate Cup atmosphere tomorrow. Cherry blossoms at the Smith in Paran.
We sold out in a couple of minutes, so to have people here and frocked up and supporting has been amazing.
A new outside Cup cavern and takeaway park picnics at Entrecote at South Yarra. As different as it will be tomorrow, punters still convinced the race will stop the nation.
Well, I actually heard it's the race that's restarting Victoria. So, yes, I am excited.
A bit more of a reason for people to celebrate, get dressed up, have a few drinks with each other, and yeah, it's just perfect timing, really.
I think it heightens our experience that we've had to go through this, that we love those events so much.
Cheers. we all need the chance to blow off steam. None more than St Vincent's emergency nurse Mad Cooksley, who will frock up after months of treating COVID patients.
Cheers. The girls and I absolutely love the races, so tomorrow will be so fun. Being able to swap the scrubs for a dress, pop some champagne.
Coronavirus has devastated dressmaker Sonia Capilazzo's normally frantic Cup Carnival, but converting masks into fashion accessories a much needed bottom line booster.
They almost elevate a gown so that it looks complete, as bizarre as that sounds.
And tomorrow's forecast is for 29 degrees, perfect to enjoy a Melbourne Cup picnic.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Nick. Up next, a major Australian industry caught up in trade tensions with China. Plus, Melbourne's mask debate. Is it time to take them off? A deadly Halloween stabbing rampage. And Prince William's COVID battle, why he kept his diagnosis secret. We're back soon across Victoria and Tasmania.
It's got action. It's got drama. Don't worry. Here we go. He's got this. Nathan Fillion.
You okay?
Yeah, I probably should have stretched before that. Is the rookie. New season tonight on 7.
When you need money for the unexpected, time can seem against you. Nimble makes finance faster. Get a Nimble small cash loan up to $5,000 within 60 minutes once confirmed. Visit nimble.com.au.
It's never been more important to buy Australian than right now. Our local manufacturers and growers produce world-class products known for their quality, safety and reliability. All while generating local jobs, supporting our communities and helping Australian families now and into the future. So look for the logo the nation trusts to be sure it's authentically Australian made.
Make great Melbourne Cup odds even better this Tuesday at Flemington with Ladbrokes Odds Boost. Simply pick your favourite runner, tap the Odds Boost button in your bet slip and watch your odds get even greater. Ladbrokes. Back yourself.
Have you tried the apple cider vinegar diet? Now you can with Nature's Way and their lifestyle plan. Feel fit and look fabulous this summer with Nature's Way apple cider tabs.
My way is Nature's Way.
When frequent heartburn kept waking me up at night, enough was enough. So I tried Nexium 24-hour.
Unlike antacids that often require multiple doses per day, Nexium 24-hour is better. Just one tablet a day can provide 24-hour protection. Live life less interrupted.
At E&S, we know that cooking to perfection means starting with the very best appliances. That's why we're cooking up a storm with our massive 10-day cooking sale, where you can get up to 20% off selected cooking appliances on brands like Westinghouse, Bosch, Electrolux, Smeg, Fisher & Paykel and Siemens. We can't wait to see you in our showrooms again, and we won't be beaten on price. So visit one of our 9 showrooms today, or shop online and get the E&S feeling for less.
This spring, Ladbrokes is changing the way you multi, putting the power in your hands and giving you more chances to win. With our new split and blended features, load up your multi-legs with runners from the same race, and if any of them get up, you win. Get all the racing multi-combinations you want, done in one. Ladbrokes. Back yourself.
The debate over mandatory face masks has fired up again as the state recorded no new COVID cases for the 3rd day in a row. For more, I'm joined by Peter Collignon, a Professor of Microbiology at Australian National University. Professor, tell us, is it time to let us go mask-free?
Well, masks have an important prevention, and if you've got a lot of COVID transmission in the community and you're wearing them, particularly if you're indoors, that's where most of the spread occurs, and it decreases the chance of you giving it to anybody else and also you getting it. But if you're outdoors, there's very little COVID transmission normally anyway, and particularly if there's very little community transmission, then mask wearing outdoors, particularly if you're keeping physical distancing, it's probably got minimal or no benefits.
What about indoors? Do you think we could see a setting perhaps where we don't have to wear them outdoors, but maybe we wear them inside and at settings that are of high risk?
Well, I think that's what needs to be done in the short term until you're sure that your levels are down in Melbourne and stay down. In areas where there's low transmission in the community, we should, as much as possible, continue to keep physical distancing because it's so easy for the virus to come back. But only in really high-risk situations, if there truly is no community transmission, you probably need to wear masks. But outdoors, there's probably not a lot of value if you have little or no community transmission.
Sure, everyone will be very happy to hear that with the weather heating up. And we've had 3 days in a row of the so-called double donut, 0 cases and 0 deaths. Are we ready to take even bigger steps out of all of these restrictions?
Well, I think one of the first things we've got to know is that the levels are truly low. And by testing sewage as an independent market plus the people who've got symptoms, that actually suggests there's not much. And I guess if you look at New South Wales, they've had much less restrictions with similar numbers, one presumes now, of community transmission without big outbreaks. So, yes, I think as over the next week or two, one would presume that restrictions will be lifted a bit more to, let more people be inside, things like that. And by keeping a close eye on what's happening, limit the chance that anything will go out of control. The good news is we've got warmer weather, so we probably will be at less risk for a few months at least, which is good news because we can get outside more and avoid being indoors, which is the more dangerous place to be anyway.
Peter Collingwood, always great to get your thoughts. Thanks so much for your time this afternoon.
Thank you.
2 people have been killed and 5 injured in a shocking Halloween attack in Canada. This is the moment police took down the suspect accused of going on a stabbing rampage. The 24-year-old man was allegedly armed with a Japanese sword and dressed in medieval clothing. The attacks are not believed to be terror-related. However, the motive is now under investigation. There are fears the seafood industry is the next victim of an ongoing trade dispute between Australia and China. Tons of Australian lobster is currently sitting on the tarmac at a Chinese airport facing customs clearance issues. It's understood Chinese authorities have implemented new health and compliance checks and time is running out.
Australia has been the only country that they are asking for this inspection requirement, which gives us grave concern as to the reasons why.
Australian beef, barley and wine have also been targeted in recent months as tensions flare over a COVID probe, Hong Kong and foreign interference. Coming up next, Collingwood coach Nathan Buckley responds to the trade talks surrounding Adam Treloar. Also, a former Bombers' favourite son ready to hit the ground running at his new club. And last-minute race preparations for a Melbourne Cup like no other. Stay with us right here on 7. I feel like maybe.
Every morning, know what's unfolding with the US election. You'll get it first from Natalie Barr.
Breaking news out of Washington.
Only on Sunrise.
This spring, Ladbrokes is changing the way you multi, putting the power in your hands and giving you more chances to win. With our new split and blended features, load up your multi-legs with runners from the same race, and if any of them get up, you win. Get all the racing multi-combinations you want, done in one. Ladbrokes. Back yourself.
So, your T-Cross, does it come in orange?
Don't think so.
It comes in orange. The new T-Cross. You'll just want one. Volkswagen.
Feel the clarity of non-drowsy Claritine for fast, powerful 24-hour hay fever and allergy relief from sneezing, runny nose, itchy eyes and skin. Because stuffed animals are clearly no substitute for real ones. Feel the clarity and live Claritine clear.
This Melbourne Cup, Ladbrokes is changing the way you multi. With our new split and blended features, load up your multi-legs with runners from the same race, and if any of them get up, you win. Ladbrokes. Back yourself.
Unpolished beauty. It defines our country. And at Stratco, it's what we do. Custom crafting, roofing and cladding solutions for remarkable Australian homes. Colorbond Steel's stunning matte finish. Brought to life by Stratco How To.
Smart tech is everywhere. Smart fridge, smart car, smart doorbell.
Hello.
But Fitbit makes you smart about your health. This isn't some phone on your wrist. It's a way to help manage stress, keep your heart strong, and tune in to your body. It's more than a watch. It's a smarter way to transform your health.
Funny, when it comes to killing pests without chemicals, Aussies tend to resort to rather unnatural methods. But now, there's a more natural way to eliminate bugs. New Aerogard Home is made with a 100% plant-based active, which makes it suitable for everyone, except bugs.
Live from Melbourne, you're watching 7's Afternoon News. It is a warm 29 degrees right now, just beautiful, and Jane Bunn will be here with the forecast later this hour. Another post-COVID freedom is about to return with the Bunnings sausage sizzle set to make a comeback. The community fundraisers will be fired up from November 14 in regional Victoria, but Melburnians will have to wait until early December. Either way, the hardware giant is promising a COVID-safe setup for the sausage sizzles. That's hard to say. A man who loves a sausage sizzle, Sean Salby. And Sean, the Magpies have finally addressed the Adam Trelaw's trade speculation.
I'll get my Kinder apron ready for the fundraiser. Thanks, Jack. Well, Nathan Buckley has responded to a wave of criticism over Collingwood's handling of Adam Trelaw's future at the Pies. Live to Tom Brown. And Tom, this is starting to get messier for the Magpies.
It's getting super messy, Sean. There'll be queries this afternoon why 36 hours out from trade period the Collingwood coach is engaging in correcting matters on social media. But essentially, Mark Stevens and I have both separately reported that Collingwood is interested in trading Trelaw because they're concerned that if his partner goes to Queensland, well, he might have some welfare difficulties or performance difficulties, given his partner would be away with the baby for up to 10 months. There was a separate report today suggesting that Bucks has told Trelaw on a phone call that the leadership group now don't want Trelaw. Bucks correcting that specific report on social media this afternoon, saying absolute fact in inverted commas and basically refuting the story, but did go on to say that their leaders don't sit on list management. It's not their job. In effect, he didn't really dispute the report. Now, it's complicated, but Mark Stevens will break that down for us at 6:15 on our news, Sean. It's a big story and getting messier by the minute, given the multi-layered issues involved, including Trelaw's well-being. Separately, Joe Danaher has spoken this afternoon in Brisbane, explaining in part his decision to leave Essendon and join the Lions. He's got no problems with Essendon, saying that he, in fact, thanked them for their support in the end after he'd left.
No, very excited to be here. It's obviously been a big process to get myself in a position where it's all done and dusted. I feel a sense of relief, and from my point of view, I'm keen to hit the ground running and getting to training as soon as possible.
And Tom, there's plenty of action elsewhere on the trade front.
There's lots, Sean. It's really just starting. Ben Brown wants to go to Melbourne officially. They'll explore a trade now in that regard. Jesse Hogan officially wants to go to the Giants. It's still developing this afternoon. We'll have the latest on both those stories and lots more coming up shortly at 6 o'clock, Sean.
Thanks, Tom. Tom Brown there. Connections of Melbourne Cup runner Russian Camelot says tomorrow's hot weather won't bother the dual Group 1 winner, and the Flemington crowd ban is actually a blessing in disguise for the flighty 4-year-old stallion. Russian Camelot enjoyed a beach session this morning. It is fit and rejuvenated after his gutsy third-place finish in the Cox Plate.
He's been down at the beach every morning, so we're hoping the sea environment's freshen him up just enough for the Melbourne Cup, and he should be ready to go tomorrow.
International raider Tiger Moth will start $8 favourite, with Russian Camelot paying $13 for the win. Aussie John Millman's decision to head overseas during the pandemic has paid off big time, claiming his first ATP title win in Kazakhstan. Millman saved 5 break points in the opening set against Frenchman Adrian Manarino before storming home to win in straight sets. The victory helps him jump back inside the top 40 in the world. And Daniel Ricciardo has claimed his second podium finish in 3 races in Italy. The Aussie finished third behind winner Lewis Hamilton and roped the Brit into a post-race shoey. Hamilton can lock up an incredible 7th F1 championship in Turkey in a fortnight. Gotta love a shoey, Jack, and we'll have all the latest trade news coming up at 6.
How good's Dan Ricciardo going?
Yeah, sensational. And then off to McLaren. Hopefully he's got a fast car.
Indeed. Thanks very much, Sean. Prince William has revealed he caught coronavirus in April but kept the diagnosis under wraps to avoid worrying people. William fell ill around the same time both his father and Boris Johnson were infected. The Prince was reportedly hit hard and struggled to breathe as the virus took hold. The UK is currently experiencing a costly new COVID wave, with the country heading back into 4 weeks of lockdown. Up next, why leading doctors fear hospitals are acting too slowly to prevent new outbreaks. Plus, a major airport preparing borders to reopen next month. And the Australia Post boss resigns over the luxury watch scandal, and how to get your hands on a $300 iPhone. We're back in just a couple of minutes.
Who will be the world's most powerful person? Wednesday is Election Day.
It's go time now! Who's going to vote for President Trump?
7 has your best coverage with the might of 7 News, NBC and CNN. No other network has the expertise in Washington in their camps.
And I know we can heal this nation. You're so lucky I'm your president.
Live right through the day, your definitive source is 7 News.
No. Come on. That's the one for you.
There's too many choices. I'm going to filter through these fillies fast. Should she be
rock hard fit and have won her last start? Or have a history of riding winners? Or is it all about a consistent strike rate?
You know you can select all 3 of us.
Find your perfect match to your form preferences easily with Ned's Filter Form. Take it to the Ned's level.
Invest with La Trobe Financial, Australia's multi-award-winning wealth manager, returning a current variable rate of 4.5% reviewed monthly on a 12-month investment. Make your money work harder for you. Call 138010.
No. Come on. That's the one for you.
There's too many choices. I'm going to filter through these fillies fast. Should she be
rock hard fit and have won her last start? Or have a history of riding winners? Or is it all about a consistent strike rate?
You know you can select all 3 of us.
Find your perfect match to your form preferences easily with Ned's Filter Form. Take it to the Ned's level.
Can you guess why I picked it?
We all pick things with our heart, but when it comes to car insurance, it pays to pick with your head. If you're 25 or over, we'll beat any comparable comprehensive renewal notice. Plus, save up to 15% when you buy online. And as a Woolworths car insurance customer, get 10% off your grocery shop once a month. So get a quote online and switch today.
That's why I picked Woolies car insurance.
At Nurofen, we know demanding lives can cause headaches, but pain should never be in charge of your day. Unleash the speed of liquid with Nurofen's advanced liquid capsules. You do the full-on day, we'll sort the pain out fast.
No. Come on. That's the one for you.
There's too many choices. I'm going to filter through these fillies fast. Should she be
rock hard fit and have won her last start? Or have a history of riding winners? Or is it all about a consistent strike rate?
You know you can select all 3 of us.
Find your perfect match to your form preferences easily with Ned's Filter Form. Take it to the Ned's level.
Live from Melbourne, this is 7's Afternoon News with Jacqueline Felgate.
If you've just joined us, Victoria has recorded no new COVID cases for the 3rd day in a row. That means Melbourne's 2-week average has now dropped to 1.9. There are now less than 50 active cases across the state, and the legal challenge against Melbourne's curfew has been dismissed, with a Supreme Court judge saying it was designed to protect the public. Leading doctors are warning there will be more outbreaks in Melbourne unless hospitals urgently address concerns around personal protective equipment. They're calling for a quicker rollout of fit testing, which makes sure COVID can't sneak through leaky masks. They're concerned infected workers could unknowingly spread the virus through the community.
Some hospitals have embraced it enthusiastically and started. Other hospitals are about to begin, and yet there are still some really large health networks in Melbourne that haven't even started and haven't actually communicated to their frontline staff as to when they can expect fit testing to start. It is
really, really difficult for staff to hear public announcements about plans that the community expect to be in place when they know that they're simply not happening on the ground.
And state political reporter Chanel Valla will have a full report in 7 News at 6 o'clock. And the head of Australia Post has resigned following scrutiny over lavish spending. Let's go live now to Olivia Leeming in Canberra. Good afternoon, Olivia. CEO Christine Holgate has stepped down.
Yes, after the Prime Minister's outrage at 4 Australia Post executives receiving Cartier watches, Christine Holgate has released a statement saying she has made the difficult decision to resign. I appreciate the optics of the gifts involved do not pass the pub test. My sincere apologies if my words or actions have offended others. She says she's not seeking any financial compensation and that she'll cooperate with the inquiry underway into spending by Australia Post's entire executive team, and those findings due later this month.
And Olivia, draft laws have just been released to crack down on corruption by all public officials.
Yeah, the government's been sitting on this legislation since December last year to set up a Commonwealth Integrity Commission, finally released by the Attorney-General this afternoon, to set up a new body to investigate corruption by politicians, their staff, government departments and entities, intelligence agencies, the Australian Federal Police, as well as universities, given the power to make arrests, tap phones, search premises, confiscate passports and compel people to give evidence, or they could face 2 years behind bars. Controversially, though, politicians and some public servants will not have to face public hearings, with the matters to be investigated privately.
Olivia Leeming in Canberra.
Whether or not the general voter thinks that they're fair or they are warranted, or whether or not they represent good or bad process, I mean, that's for the general public to decide. Ultimately, a court should be making a public determination of guilt or innocence, not a report.
Now, Labor has been scathing of this model, saying under this, the Commission would not be able to start its own investigations and would be limited to examining criminal offences, meaning the government's likely to have to rely on crossbench support for this to pass Parliament next year. Jackie.
Olivia Leeming in Canberra, thank you. Avalon Airport is preparing for state borders to reopen to most Australians on December 1st. There's been no official announcement, but operators say there's no time to waste. And Blake Johnson has the story for us. Blake, the next time we're going to be at the airport, it's going to be very different.
That's certainly the case for Avalon Airport, Jackie, where you'll have your temperature taken as you walk in. But perhaps the biggest change is a new hands-free check-in system that reads eye and head movements to select your choice on the screen. There's also a new scanner, so you don't have to remove your laptop from your bag, and only passengers will be allowed through security. That's done to avoid big crowds inside and keeping everyone safe and distanced until they're on the plane. Avalon hasn't had a passenger flight since March. The airport boss says he is very keen to get Avalon new destinations in Australia and overseas.
New Zealand flights would be great out of here, especially when you consider you've got 2 airports in Melbourne. You can really make sure that we can not, avoid any cross-contamination of passengers coming from hotspots as opposed to, clean areas like New Zealand.
New Zealand sounds lovely at this time of year, Blake, and there has been further discussion on state borders reopening.
Going anywhere at the moment would be
Correct.
wonderful. Now, Jack, the New South Wales Premier says there could be a decision this week about when the border to Victoria will reopen. Gladys Berejiklian says her government will likely move quicker with Victoria than Queensland. The Avalon Airport boss predicts by December 1 we'll see a much more open Australia. Great news for struggling airlines, but also those of us with family interstate.
Oh, yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Blake. Americans who haven't already voted will head to the polls in less than 2 days. Paul Caddick is in North Carolina, one of President Trump's many pit stops on a marathon day spent rallying support.
Good afternoon. With just hours now until Election Day, Donald Trump has certainly been trying to make the most of them, holding 5 rallies in 5 states today. A day finishing with a Florida rally ending after midnight, but beginning in freezing cold Michigan, battling wind and a little snow as Trump lashed out at his rivals.
They want to close down your factories, ship your jobs to China, eliminate private health care, destroy the suburbs. I got rid of the, I always say, women, whoa. The women, that was them speaking. The women of the suburbs, you gotta love me.
From there to Iowa, where a new survey puts him ahead, and then here to battleground North Carolina, where turnout on election day itself will be crucial, with the record-breaking early vote expected to favour Joe Biden.
Joe Biden is not up to this job. All you have to do is watch him for about 5 minutes.
It's time for Donald Trump to pack his bags and go home.
Joe Biden, by contrast, today holding just 2 events, both in Philadelphia, in the key toss-up state of Pennsylvania.
In 2 days, we can put an end to a president that has failed to protect this nation. In 2 days, we can put an end to a presidency that fanned the flames of hate, poured gasoline on every opportunity he had.
As the 2 candidates battle it out, an investigation's underway into this incident between their supporters. Video showing vehicles flying Trump flags surrounding a Biden campaign bus on a Texas highway. Those on board reportedly saying the cars were trying to slow and stop the bus, and they called police.
And 7 will bring you every crucial moment as America decides, starting from 5 a.m. Wednesday and into special coverage straight after sunrise. Shoppers will soon be able to pick up an iPhone along with a bottle of milk and a loaf of bread. As Georgia Comensoli reports, a major supermarket is about to start selling refurbished smartphones.
Good afternoon. From Wednesday, Coles customers will be able to buy a recycled iPhone 7 in-store across most states, and retailing for just over $200 means this will be a game changer for the consumer. Typically, iPhones can set you back thousands of dollars, but now shoppers will be able to pick up a second-hand iPhone 7 at a Coles checkout whilst picking up their weekly groceries. The phones are recycled, undergoing a 72-point inspection process to make sure each phone is ready for use. Their previous data is wiped before landing in store. Once there, the phones come with a $10 boost SIM card to get you started, and those behind the rollout say it's a game changer.
We know that value is more important than it's ever been, and we've been selling phones for a very long time now, but everyone loves an iPhone, and everyone loves an iPhone at a great price.
We've seen over the last 12 months an amazing uplift in the selling of refurbished phones. I think what people find is great value and a great product.
The recycled phones won't be available online. You'll have to come in-store to pick one up, and they'll be available in Victoria and Queensland Coles in just a few months' time.
There are fears 20,000 cars on Victorian roads are ticking time bombs. The details are just ahead. Plus, the link between playtime and kids' mental health. And a baby monkey learns to sing. We're back soon, right here on 7.
The greatest British mysteries. Monday to Thursday at 8:30.
This is my favourite part. We're off to catch the culprit.
Uncover the truth with the straight-talking Detective Foyle.
My source, my case, my decision.
The eagle-eyed Inspector Morse.
Watch carefully, Lewis.
Master Sleuth Lewis. And new Murdoch Mysteries.
No crime is unsolvable.
Great British Mysteries. Monday to Thursday on 7/2.
Hit the road in the Isuzu MU-X with 3-ton towing from just $46,990 drive away. Plus, get a free towing pack across the 4x4 range.
When it comes to racing, BS has been around since day dot. Boneheads barked it at their mates.
No road.
Monarchs trumpeted it to the masses.
Back the 3.
Even the Kiwis try to claim Farlap.
That's ridiculous. I'm Reggie Ditch, bro.
But these days, you can fight BS with the Sportsbet app. It makes betting on the races easy with independent expert tips from Best Bets for every Aussie race every day. BS responsibly with Sportsbet.
Bone mass peaks in our 30s. You need enough vitamin D to maintain bone strength. Look after your bones with new Austerlin Bone Strength, with the added benefit of magnesium, iron or collagen support.
This year, thousands of Aussies have jumped on board Light and Easy's Jumpstart program to help fast-track their weight loss success and improve their health.
The first 2 weeks on Jumpstart were amazing.
Jumpstart did jumpstart things for me. The more you see the results, the more you want to do it.
That's what pushed me to keep going because it was working.
All up, I've lost 25 kilos.
It was something that was actually working for me and it wasn't just another fad diet.
Isn't it time you jumped on board the weight loss program everyone's talking about? Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
As feelings go, winning millions is a pretty nice one. But you know what? There's something even nicer. Sharing your world with the people who make your world. That's what makes us truly rich.
Baby, then there wouldn't be a single thing you couldn't do.
So, go on the holiday. Get the car. Get the boat. But you'll find that winning really means something when you share it with the ones who mean everything. And there's just no nicer feeling than that.
Wouldn't it be nice?
Ready to go? You can go your own way. Go your own way. Reignite your sense of adventure with the 7-seat Isuzu MU-X. With outstanding 3-ton towing from just $46,990 drive away. Plus, get a free towing pack across the 4x4 range. Now's the time to hit the road.
The greatest risk of all.
I'm going to take the top offer.
One question for big dollars or disaster. New The Chase. Weekdays on 7.
20,000 Victorian cars with potentially deadly airbags remain out on the streets. More than 30 deaths and 300 serious injuries have been linked to the Takata airbags. Affected drivers can have them replaced for free until the end of the year. After that, motorists risk having their car registration cancelled. A teenage driver has been reunited with his beloved car after it was stolen from his home in Melbourne's northeast. Louisa Cheatley has the story.
Good afternoon. 17-year-old Levi Charles had only owned his dream 1979 Corolla for 5 months when it was stolen right outside his home. He and his family had almost lost hope until a call came in on Friday night to say a member of the public had spotted the old school car in a park just 2 kilometres from his Montmorency home. Today, a family reunion, the high school student finally getting his keys back after 6 sleepless nights.
I was a bit shocked myself because I didn't think it would turn up. I didn't think it would turn up in very good condition.
The car was missing its radio, a subwoofer and the back seat. Police believe thieves plan to restore it, then sell it. Levi is now looking forward to fixing it up himself ahead of his 18th birthday with his grandpa Roy by his side, who's also a car enthusiast.
At first I thought, no, this is too good to be true. And when he said, I want a 79 Corolla, well, that's fantastic.
Levi knows just how lucky he was to get the car back in one piece, vowing to keep it locked away in the garage so this doesn't happen again.
Diabetes Australia has launched a new campaign to encourage Australians to manage their illness and prevent long-term damage. As Samantha Brett reports, new research shows almost half of those with type 2 diabetes don't realise how serious it can be.
Well, around 1.2 million Australians live with type 2 diabetes, and many of those don't know the further risks involved with having the disease.
Diabetes is the slow pandemic of the 21st century. There's very large numbers of people with type 2 diabetes.
A new study has revealed that while more than 1 million Australians live with type 2 diabetes, 40% are unaware of its connection to kidney disease and heart failure, which can be deadly.
It's not an old age thing. It can happen in people in their 20s and 30s. And if they develop this kidney damage or other damage, that's going to be with them for the rest of their life.
Like 56-year-old Joseph Kazana, who was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes at age 27 and now suffers severe heart and kidney complications.
My general day-to-day life revolves around medicine, revolves around doctor's appointments. It certainly has changed my life, I'd say for the worst.
Prevention, unfortunately, is not always an option. Type 2 diabetes is hereditary, but can be kept under control. A new campaign out today titled If I Had Known chronicles the stories of sufferers who let their health slip, a sober reminder of the importance of taking early action. It's hoped this new campaign will help those living with type 2 diabetes and those at risk be inspired to do more to avoid further complications.
3 teenagers are among 8 men charged over a vicious street brawl in the city. The fight broke out at a tram stop on Swanston Street around 7:30 last night. 2 men were taken to hospital. Westpac has reported a massive profit plunge. The bank's profits for the full year were down 62%, with cash earnings at $2.6 billion. This compared with $6.8 billion last year. Company bonuses will be curtailed as Westpac grapples with the COVID climate and compliance issues. Shareholders will receive a sharply reduced dividend of 31 cents. Now to a family that plays together and performs as well. Melbourne Zoo's Simon Gibbons are turning up their vocal cords, including 2-year-old Kamala. The parents have spent 20 years developing their mateship melody, but keepers say their little one is also developing her own distinctive pitch. You're watching 7 News. We're back with Peter Mitchell and Jane Bunn straight after the break.
Not one woman has got across this. So today I want to make it that day.
Be the first. Be the first.
Do not let go of that rope. Get up there! We haven't even started yet!
Freezing cold water, you go into a state of shock.
And stay there!
Because your body thinks it's going to die.
This is the course of finding out how resilient you are.
Absolutely shredded my nuts.
How much grit and determination they really have.
SAS Australia, tonight 7:30 on 7.
For tough pain relief, my go-to is Panadol Extra. Because if I don't, with my migraine headaches, I'm kind of useless in the kitchen. It's good to know you can still help out the people who need you. Together, let's rethink care.
Imagine where you'd go if nothing stood in your way. The BMW X1 S-Drive 18i. $149 per week at 4.99% per annum. Business customers only. Search BMW X1.
Keeping your body in perfect shape isn't always easy. Fortunately, keeping your hair in perfect shape is. The Crew Cut exclusive to Shaver Shop with Japanese steel blades which cut in any direction. The Crew Cut from VS Sassoon. The clipper has evolved.
Little Bella's home with a newfound friend. Luckily, with PinoClean laundry sanitizer, it doesn't matter where that's been. Because unlike detergent alone, which doesn't get rid of all germs, it removes 99.9% of bacteria. It's not clean unless it's PinoClean.
Bold is standing out, never blending in. It's unapologetically chunky and never thin. Bold is savoured, never swift. It's plentiful, rich, sensations ignite. Old Gold is bold in every bite.
A distracting new deal every day of November. Like a classic Big Mac for $2. Only on the My Macca's app.
For tough pain relief, my go-to is Panadol Extra. Because if I don't, with my migraine headaches, I'm kind of useless in the kitchen. It's good to know you can still help out the people who need you. Together, let's rethink care.
Get off work. Get on board. Get on track. What's on? A night off. Fun on. Blow off plans? Stay on the couch? Come on, play on. On to this, off to that. Hold on. Drive on and on. Off the beaten track, off-road, on-road, off-road. Whatever you're into. Skoda. Simply clever.
The greatest risk of all.
I'm going to take the top off.
Oh, wow! One question.
This question stands between you and $40,000.
For big dollars or disaster.
Wonder Woman wears golden armour. Modelled on which bird?
New The Chase. Weekdays at 5 on 7.
There's a reason we say nobody knows Melbourne.
Open safely with a world-class plan.
Like 7 News.
It's just unfair. It's wrong.
Key focus is mental health and well-being.
We're so close to crushing the curve. Melbourne's best team.
Allow us to operate.
Our job is to report to you, for you, every night.
Nobody knows news like 7.
Welcome back. Peter Mitchell is working on tonight's edition of 7 News at 6. Hello, Mitch. Mortgage holders should be in for some more relief tomorrow.
That's right, Jackie. We've got a hot tip for Melbourne Cup Day. Expect the Reserve Bank to cut interest rates. It'll mean Australia will come very close to a negative interest rate. We've also got the latest data on Melbourne's property prices, and it's not all bad news as we move out of the second wave. Estelle Griepink will have a live report, Jackie.
And Mitch, the news about Prince William having COVID earlier this year certainly shocked the world.
Yes, indeed. It was the British tabloids who broke the news, Jackie. The Duke tested positive back in April, not long after his dad, Prince Charles, was diagnosed. At 6, we're live to London for the latest on why Prince William didn't reveal he had COVID-19 at the time. And Tim Watson will have all the very latest on a big day in AFL trade news, Jackie.
Yeah, new grandpa Tim Watson. Looking forward to hearing from him.
Yes, indeed. He's grandpa number 8, I think.
Oh, that's a fair haul. Thanks very much, Mitch. Let's take a quick look at Melbourne's roads now.
Good afternoon, I'm Jess in the Woodards traffic chopper at the moment, just hanging west of the city, having a look at how the Westgate Freeway is going. You can see no dramas at all moving out of the tunnel and it remains clear across the bridge. We actually did have a breakdown on the Montague Street entry ramp to the Westgate, but fortunately that's just been moved out of the way in the last few minutes, so no dramas through there. It's all happening in the property market, and as the rebound begins, it's time to get moving for Woodards' new selling season. Woodards, expect better. We'll see you tomorrow with more traffic.
A suspected drunk driver has been stopped in his tracks by a stormtrooper. The off-duty highway patrol officer was on her way home from a Halloween party when she spotted a car travelling the wrong way. She pulled the driver over and arrested him. And Johnny Depp is just a few hours from learning the outcome of his legal action against the Sun newspaper after it called him a wife-beater. The case aired a string of damning claims against Depp and his ex, Amber Heard. The landmark ruling will be handed down at 9 o'clock tonight, our time. And it is time now for an update on the weather with Jane Bunn. Jane, it is absolutely stunning out there.
Oh, Jack, it is indeed. Now, both days of the weekend only reached 17. Today has soared to nearly 30 degrees. Our last 30-degree day was back in April, but we usually see 3 of them each November, and we'll have another one of those tomorrow. Around town, now, it does depend if you have a sea breeze or not as to how warm it is. Currently 28 in the city, 26 in Moorabbin, but if you head down to the coast, 19 in Torquay or just down the coast there, 22 at Phillip Island and in Hastings, 28 across most of the north. A few patches of fog cleared out this morning, and apart from the odd bit of wispy high cloud, it is sunny statewide. Northerly winds mean that it is currently 30 up in the northwest, 31 in Oyen and in Hopeton. It's 25 in Ballarat, 27 in Warrnambool, but we do have some sea breezes coming into Gippsland here, 21 in Sale and Bairnsdale. A high-pressure system has jumped out to our east, letting the winter northerly and warming it up. We'll stay warm until the next cold front pushes through. That is due here on Wednesday. With that comes a band of showers and thunderstorms. It starts in the southwest and spreads through to the east, missing most of the north of the state. Expect up to 5 millimetres in the south on Wednesday into Thursday morning. The thing we'll notice most is the temperature. Tuesday, like today, warm and sunny. Anywhere pink on this map reaches 30 degrees and the Mallee goes into the mid-30s. But the temperature plummets on the other side of that front. We're back down to temperatures in the teens and even freezing up on the Alps. After that, there's another burst of showers on Saturday, and it is on the chilly side into the weekend before another warm-up early next week. It is spring. It is warm when the high is out to our east and chilly after a front passes. Around the nation tomorrow, Sydney has morning clouds, then a sunny afternoon, a top of 22. Hobart's throwing right up to 29. There's sheets of high cloud overhead, but it is dry. Adelaide, mostly sunny tomorrow, a hot top of 34, a shower there late at night. To Victoria, local early fog, then warm to hot and mostly sunny. We'll just have those sheets of wispy high cloud overhead. Northerly winds become moderate to breezy over in the west, but remain lighter in the east with sea breezes in Gippsland. So 27 through here, 26 in Ballarat, 34 up in Mildura. In Melbourne, it's a top of 30 tomorrow. We have lots of sunshine, so it is a great cup day in store. It should be our warmest in 6 years. We have those moderate northerly winds and it stays warm right through until lunchtime Wednesday. In fact, the low tomorrow night, Jack, is 20 degrees.
Do you know what I love? That it's our warmest cup day in 6 years and we can't go.
We can't even go.
Every time we go, it's raining. But also a lovely night to get out and about tonight, perhaps.
Absolutely, yeah. So staying great until lunchtime on Wednesday. Enjoy.
Great news. Thank you, Jane. And that is all from Melbourne's afternoon news. Thank you for joining us. At 6, Peter Mitchell has details on actor Craig McLachlin hitting back at female co-stars who've accused him of assault. For now, though, from the team, have a lovely sunny afternoon.